Were you able to submit Chandler at all?
No. I got some good scrambles in there. I made him a little tired.
Hey,
like
there
I
you
said,
go.
I made him a little tired.
That's it.
I'm little, so I can just keep going.
Yeah.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your undisputed reigning amateur flyweight champion. This is Bryce the Legend Cajun Woerner.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Knuckle Sandwich. Today I'm sitting down with the best flyweight, I'm gonna say in the country, because I truly believe that, at least in the Southeast and the Midwest. Bryce the Ragin Cajun Woerner. What's up, my brother? How are you?
I'm glad to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
Dude, it's an honor to have you on finally. We've been trying to do it for a little bit. You've been on some post-fight things with us, but finally we get to sit down and talk about you as a fighter, as a person, and then the future coming up, because you just announced a fight not too long ago. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, I want to talk about your last fight though. Ben Rainwater, not an easy guy to beat. He was undefeated at the time, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
And you had come into Aries here at Nashville Underground, and man, you put on a clinic. I've been able to watch a few of your fights here and there already, and there was something completely different about your last fight versus the other ones. What was the preparation like for Ben Rainwater versus all your other opponents?
For sure. I think mainly because I felt different. I was a different fighter against Ben than I was the rest of my fight. And I think everybody could see that. And yeah, it was because I moved here to Nashville MMA. I got Dustin, I got all the resources. I got a strength and conditioning coach, getting my sleep right, doing everything, you know, that I need to do. But I think mainly it was like a mental shift. Like, you know, I'm 20 years old, and when I was in Thailand, I made a good friend out there, and he told me right now at this age is when you're gonna build those championship habits. And yeah, I think that's what it was, just getting down, like no more wasting time, like let's do everything right. And I think that's what it was, more of like a mental shift. And it turned into like, I feel like every fight I feel like I gotta prove something. Because I'm still an amateur, I got a lot of fights, but man, I got so much to learn, you know? So I feel like every fight I have something to prove. I feel like I get, not doubted, but doubted in terms of like what I know I can be into what people expect.
Yeah.
So I feel like I go out there and I just had a certain meanness that night, like just put it on him instead of like just fighting. Like, no, I'm gonna make a example out of him in the most respectful way.
Yeah, you said that, you know, you just mentioned Nashville MMA. That's where we're at here, but dude, there's something that's very, very interesting and very awesome about you that I think we had just talked off camera. You're basically a full-time fighter, and normally with amateurs you don't see that, but
Yeah.
You're staying here at the gym.
Yes,
you're
sir.
training like twice a day.
Yes, sir.
You're following all the right things. There's like this recipe right now going on. Talk a little bit about that in the sense of like, you've got all these different pieces. You mentioned Dustin Ortiz, Thailand. You were training with Michael Chandler not too long ago. What have those experiences been like, and how has that formed you as a fighter today?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm a firm believer of you are who you separate, or you are who you associate yourself with. And being around here, like I said, ever since I came to Nashville, it's like I cut off all the unnecessary things, and I'm just living like this fight life. I'm surrounded myself with, I got Dustin, who was already in the UFC, and he already did what I'm trying to do. So just being around those people, Michael Chandler coming in here, and I'm talking to him, I'm working with him, and it's like, man, he's just a human. He's just a human like I am. He just got to where I want to be with hard work. That's literally all it is. They aren't any different than we are. You just gotta put in the hard work, and that's one thing I've learned is like, you're gonna get what you earn. And so I'm just trying to, just put in the work, not cut any corners, and just being here around the people I am, my teammates, they just elevate me, and I do the same for them. Yeah. So, yes, sir.
Were you able to submit Chandler at all?
No. I got some good scrambles in there. I made him a little tired.
Hey,
like
there
I
you
said,
go.
I made him a little tired.
That's it.
I'm little, so I can just keep going.
Yeah.
For sure.
One thing awesome also about your career so far is you signing with Ruby Sport. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of amateurs, I feel like, sign with management companies, and obviously you are, in my opinion, levels above most of the amateur talent in the region. Talk to me a little bit about that, because Ruby Sport has a lot of great guys, Shavkat, Piotr Jan, DDP, like championship status UFC guys. What is it like having that in your corner?
Just knowing that my name's thrown in that mix is like, it boosts me up a lot. And because I'm the only amateur on the roster right now. Yeah, I'm the only amateur. They've only signed one other amateur other than me, and that was Alexei Pergande.
Okay.
Yeah, he came here. He's down in Killcliff now. But yeah, he turned pro. I'm the only amateur. So like signing amateurs isn't a thing because you weren't making money off of them or anything like that. But Steve, my manager for Ruby, he lives in Memphis. He's real close with Nashville MMA and the regional scene around here.
Yeah.
So I think he was there. It's funny. My first amateur fight was Dustin's comeback fight, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2021, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, it's a big blur. But and Steve is also Dustin's manager, so he was there and he kind of seen me my first amateur fight, and he just kept up. And then I think by like my third or fourth fight, I believe that was Maverick, is when he finally said something to me, and like I think we should start working together. So he seen potential in me, and then he just sticked around, see what I could do. I showed up, I kept winning, and then he was like, yeah, I want to work together. And he's not making money from me.
Yeah.
He just sees potential in me, and he set me up here. Like, they really take care of me, and I really appreciate it. Yeah. And I just got to make sure I'm doing the work, doing what I need to do. So it's not, I don't want to take that for granted, because they're helping me along this way. And yeah, it's awesome being a part of Ruby. Like, it's honestly an honor.
That's cool.
Like, I see the Instagram post, Peter Yan, like all these people, I'm like,
and then you're right there.
I'm right there.
Yeah.
So it's dope. It's dope.
It's super cool.
Yes, sir.
One of the things you just mentioned, Maverick, right? And one of the things that I noticed with your career so far, I think Maverick was your 5th fight. So you had Maverick, then you had Dominic Heath, Tyler Stout, Ben Rainwater. Your last 4 fights, dude, these have been some super killers, tough opponents. And I looked through all of your fights. I mean, you've never fought anybody with a losing record. Everybody's always been at least 500 or winning record.
Yeah.
What is it? Is that something that's always been on your mind? You want to fight the best, you want to be the best, to be the best.
And that's one thing that gives me a lot of confidence when I go into these fights is like, I know more than likely these guys haven't fought tough guys like I am. People definitely in this amateur stuff, like people try to pad their records and like go around, but the way I see it, man, this is amateur. Like, the pro is what matters. So like, I want to take the hardest fights every time, and if I fight one hard guy, the next fight I don't want to fight someone not as good. I want to fight an even better guy. And I think what it was when I was going to Wildside, shout out Mike Marion, I love them. They brought me up. I love them. But Micah, he set me up with some tough guys. Like, off the rip, he set me off with some tough guys. So that's kind of, I just got thrown to the wolves, and it's either sink or swim. Yeah. And I swam. And yeah, that's really it. I think once I started fighting tough guys, it's like, why go fight any lesser of an opponent? I want to keep fighting these tough guys, and it gives me that extra confidence. Like this next kid I'm fighting, that I found out I was fighting yesterday, good kid, 7-3. He's coming down from 35.
Okay, so a bigger guy.
Bigger guy, yeah. But hey, I fought at 35 once. It's a different weight class. So I'm gonna welcome him to the 25 weight class. It's different. It's different. The speed's different. It's just a different weight class.
For sure.
And yeah.
So the guy you're talking about is Brent Williams. Okay, number 2 fighter in North Carolina. You're fighting him May 10th in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Is that gonna be a main event?
Stewie's fighting on that card, so probably not.
Of course. So what made this fight the one? It seems like you're having to kind of go a little farther out to find opponents now, right? Like you've fought the tougher guys in Tennessee. Now it's like, okay, let me go to Kentucky, let me go to North Carolina, and bring those guys here and let me test myself, right? Exactly.
And I think what it is obviously I'm not bragging or boasting, but you look at my Tapology, it's like #1 Southeast, Midwest, Tennessee. And Indiana, which, like I said, I'm not boasting, but from an opponent's point of view, they look at that and they're like, these amateurs, they don't want to take a risk. Like, that's what amateur is for, like taking risks, getting that experience, those hard fights. So there's nothing new when you turn pro. So yeah, I just think that they see those numbers and they don't want to fight me. So I respect Brent for that. I respect him. Like I said, I was supposed to fight before the camera was rolling. We were talking about, I was supposed to fight March 9th, couldn't find me somebody. April 6th, couldn't find me anybody. And then this date rolls around and I get told this Brent kid, and he looks game. He's got a good record. He's coming down from 35. It gives me them butterflies because I was training for a fight April 6th anyways.
Yeah.
I just didn't have a name, but it's not the same. As soon as I got that name, I got those butterflies, and I'm like, let's go. Now it's time to go. And yes, sir.
So knowing you, treating amateur as a pro, right? Like you act as if you're a pro, but you're an amateur, right?
Yes, sir.
So have you already watched film on Brent? I mean, you just announced it yesterday, but what do you see as a advantage for you over him in this fight May 10th?
I think I'm just better. I think he's good, but I just think I'm better, honestly. I think I seen like one fight I watched. He's well-rounded. He reminds me of myself. He's a young kid. He's 22. He's a little older than me. But he's a young kid. He's athletic. I think he comes from a wrestling background. He likes to strike. He can mix it all up, and that's what I like. And I think if he wants to play the striking game, I'm gonna take over. If he wants to wrestle, we can scramble all day. Like I love wrestling. It was the first. Like I came to MMA from wrestling.
Yeah.
So I don't mind wrestling, but I think I'm just gonna impose my will. Whatever I want to do, that's what we're gonna do, honestly. And I expect him to be strong. I expect him to be athletic. I'm preparing for a 5-round war, but I plan on going out there and finishing him. I don't want to. I want to prove a point every fight. I don't want to go back and I just want to keep proving that I'm better than I was the last fight.
Is pro in your sight after this one at all, or no?
I get that question.
I know. I think I ask you every time I see you.
But what it is, so I got a team, I got a manager, and so it's not just my say.
Yeah.
And 2 fights ago, I was like, I'm ready to go pro. I want to make money. But hey, I'm looking in the long run, and I trust what my manager says and what my coach says because he already did what I'm trying to do. So I respect his opinion. And I'm 20 years old, so I got time on my side. Like I got a lot of amateur fights. A lot of people with the amount of amateur fights that I have will just go ahead and go pro. But like I said, I got time on my side. So whether I can get 5 fights this year or 2 fights this year, it really doesn't matter. I think this year I'm just gonna focus on getting ready to transition. So I'm gonna rock this year out, fit as many fights as I can, but I'm not too worried about getting a bunch of fights, more so about honing all my skills, getting ready to make that transition. So that's what I'm using this year for, and then I'll go pro.
Love it.
And time flies. So.
That's true. That's true. All right, rapid fire questions, Bryce.
Yes,
I got a couple off the top of my head. This is my favorite part of the interview ever, honestly. I just like to see where your mind's at, okay?
Yes, sir.
So starting off, what's your go-to walkout song or hype-up song for a fight?
It used to be like NBA YoungBoy.
Okay.
It used to be YoungBoy, but honestly, nowadays, man, I don't fight with music on. So I feel like it's a way of distracting yourself. Honestly, for me, it's a way of distracting yourself, and I just want to feel everything. I want to be in the moment. Like I'll be in the back breathing, like meditating monk style before I got the headphones in. So I used to listen to a lot of music, not so much anymore.
Okay. What is your go-to post-weigh-in food? After you cut all the weight, what are you going to refuel the body right after?
Always pasta, usually like Olive Garden. I'm not big on Italian food, but it's carbs and they're long-lasting carbs. So it's not my indulging food when I the fight's over. I can go indulge, but it's my food to because you can't have fun till the fight's over, right? So once I get off the scale, I'm happy, but I still got to be disciplined. So I usually eat pasta like Olive Garden, get the carbs, eat some fruit, and usually I'll right after weigh-ins, I'll chug a Pedialyte. My coach will get on my. But yes, sir.
We got to get you a better choice than Olive Garden, but that's all right. We'll get that. We'll get there. What would you say that your favorite fighter on the UFC roster is right now?
That's hard.
Pick one.
I gotta say Dustin Poirier.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Louisiana. He's just such a dog. He's such a good person, and I think we fight similar. So I think I'm gonna be Dustin Poirier for sure.
And then if you had a Mount Rushmore top 4 all-time MMA greats, who's that got to be?
Man, I knew you were gonna ask me this question. Demetrius Johnson.
Okay.
Dustin Poirier, I gotta put him in there. Oliveira, and Anderson Silva.
Love it.
That might be a weird one, but hey, I'm a new generation. I respect the greats, But like I like some of the newer guys.
Yeah.
You know, because people are like GSP, John Jones.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fair enough. Got any shout outs? The floor is yours, my man.
Shout out Steve Swedish, my manager. I appreciate you taking care of me, putting me in position to win. I'm gonna keep showing up. Shout out my family, all my support, all the people that don't even know me but support me. It's an honor. Yeah, shout out to God most of all. He can manifest His glory through me. It all goes to Him. It's not me. And yeah, shout out my girl. She'll be taking care of me. And yes, sir. That's it.
Beautiful.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Bryce, I appreciate it. Can't wait to see you fight May 10th.
Yes, sir.
And look forward to seeing your name in the big lights soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Beautiful.